What's up, dogs? It's Nyctopluvo back again with the Game of the Week show, the show where every week I play a game and talk about it here. This week, I've been playing World of Goo, so sit down, damn it, and let me tell you about it. So World of Goo is a puzzle game where you build towers and bridges out of like these little goo ball things that like connect to each other, and like you have to like puzzle around like through like terrains and like wind and whatnot. Like sometimes like the wind will like blow your stuff over, and you know you gotta like, it's all gravity based, so you gotta like make sure like your towers are stable and your bridges are stable and whatnot. And there's some levels have spikes that if the goo falls on, they just like die. But the premise is you wanna the levels will either have like a thing where you build up like a tower to like a pipe where it sucks like goo up there, or you're like building across like a bridge to like a pipe or stuff. It's pretty much like that, and you basically want to get the goo like tower bridge thing that you have going on to connect to a pipe, which sucks any remaining goo that's like on your goo structure into it. And every level has like a number of goo you need to be sucked into the pipe to pass the level. Like for example, like, you know, just like you need like 8 goo, so if you use more goo than you need to like actually get to the end of the level, you won't pass it. But you can also get more goo and like get a higher ranking on that level. In the game there are like multiple different types of goo. Like the first goo we get to play around with is just like this standard black goo, and like the way it works is you just like attach it to an already pre-existing structure, and then it's just there. You can't do anything about it, you can't move it or whatever. And then there's the green goo, which comes immediately after that, a couple levels down the line, where you have to like, you get like a limited amount of goo and you have to like build your way up between like these two like structures. And the thing the green goo does is you can like move it. So like once you place it, it's not permanent, you could always pick it back up. So like in this particular level where it's first introduced, you're kind of like trying to keep your goo tower like really like pushed against these walls, so you can like slowly climb up it while still being like in between like the two walls. So like you'll like build your way up, and then once you're confident that the structure will be safe if you remove like the bottom ones, you remove the bottom ones and build more way up, and then continue that until you get to the pipe. The next goo to be introduced, there's like 2 of them. One of them is kind of not a goo, but I'll just say it is. There's this clear goo that's kind of like really heavily gravity based. It kind of just looks like a loogie when you attach it to something. It kind of just like hangs. But that's also introduced with like these balloons, and the balloons you like attach to the goo, and it's a balloon, so like it like floats up in the air a little bit, and if it's light enough, like it can fly off the map. And there is a part in the game where there is no pipe, and you kind of just have to like have your goo structure just fly off into like space or whatever, and that's how you beat that specific level. But like there's this other level where like you're building like a bridge over this fan thing, and you have to like use like the balloons to like help, you know, because like the only goo you get is like the little loogie ones, so they're all heavily gravity based. But then you gotta like put like the balloon ones to help like string this goo structure you have like over this fan thingy. So like because like the fan will like destroy the goo if the goo touches it, so you don't want that, and the pipe is on the other side of that, so you have to like go over it. The next goo to be introduced is the it's not really a goo, but I'm gonna call it one too. It's like this bone thing, and the level that one's introduced in, you're building like a bridge over like the spiky area. So like what you use the bone one for is the bone one can sit on the spikes and kind of like act as a support for your bridge, so like it doesn't collapse on the spikes and like completely destroy your structure. And then the next goo to be introduced, I'm sure there's like other goos to be introduced, but this is the last one that was introduced in the game while I was playing. It's fair to say I haven't beaten the game yet. I still have like 2 chapters to go, I believe. But anyway, the last goo I saw get introduced is this yellow one, and it's really cool because like it like attaches to structures, and in the level where it's introduced, you like attach it to like this wheel, so like your whole structure can like go up to this wheel, and then on the top of that wheel there's another wheel, and you have to like attach your structure to that wheel and like kind of like climb your way up the level that way, and it's really cool. And I almost forgot, there's also this red goo that's kind of like a match, I guess you could say, because they look very much like a match, and what you do with these goos is you'll like build them over to like a source of fire, and they light on fire, and there's like various use for this one. Like I don't know if this was in the levels introduced in or not, but there's this one level where there's this structure like surrounded, like this white like structure that you need to like move down near the pipe to get like a bunch of like, because there's some goos in the game that like you can't build with, they're just like there to be there, and those are like right next to the pipe, but you need like a structure for them to like get into the pipe on, and there's a structure above the source of fire, and what you have to do is surround that structure with the match things, and then lead it down into the fire, and then the fire like goes up, burns everything, like all the match ones, because like only the match ones set on fire, so like it burns all the matches ones, then drops down the structure that the goo at the bottom of the map is going to get on and like go into the pipe automatically. So yeah, that's World of Goo. It's a very fun puzzle game. Also, I want to mention real quick, this is made by Tomorrow Corporations, and this is their first game, and I really like Tomorrow Corporations because their art style is very like cool, I guess cool would be an understatement. I really like it. It's kind of like, to me it seems like it's kind of like a children's book, but it's a little bit fucked up. But yeah, this is their first game. They have 2 other games, Little Inferno and Human Resources Machines, both in the same art style. I think it's a really cool art style. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this game if you're looking for like a fun puzzle game. I believe it's available on the Switch is what I'm playing on. It's available on the Wii, but for download only, so as long as the Wii shop is still up, which I'm not entirely sure if it is. It's on Steam, and I believe it might be on mobile devices. But yeah, it's definitely a fun puzzle game to play. If you're playing on the Switch, I definitely would recommend playing like on the touchscreen, on the actual like Switch screen itself, opposed to like the the Joy-Con like controllers, because with those it's like motion controls and it's a little bit obnoxious, but you can still do it. I just prefer the touchscreen. But yeah, I definitely would recommend it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you played the game before, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it, or your thoughts about the game in general from this video. Please subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next week.